General quarters, all hands man your battle stations.
Hi, Tom Trento, CEO of defendtheborder.org. And ladies and gentlemen, we're in the midst of a crisis, chaos. Even President Biden say it's going to be chaotic for the next few days. I have with me two good friends, two individuals, both in Texas, one with a ranch on the border. Another one is our dear director, Chris Burgard, who directed Death County and the River of Broken Dreams. He's in Corpus Christi right now. And Dr. Michael Vickers down in Falfurrias, Texas. Let's start with you, Dr. Vickers. How you doing today, and what are your concerns on May 11th, 2023?
Well, we have a lot of concerns. You know, all my clients up and down the border that have property. We know that there's 15,000 Haitians in a camp in Reynosa, and they'll be headed this way. Thousands of people showing up in Brownsville, and we're expecting to be overrun and our property damaged, all kinds of different negative aspects of all these people coming through our private property. More dead bodies, more so than what we found since President Biden took office in January of 21. And, we need help. We need big time help.
All right, you need help. Well, maybe Chris Burgard, who's usually on a horse, but now you're on like some sort of steel vehicle over there. Where are you, Chris Burgard?
I'm in Thank you, Tom. Thanks for having me on today, buddy. I'm in Corpus Christi, Texas, and I'm actually coming to you from the deck of the USS Lexington.
All right, so Biden is going to use the Lexington to push back the invasion. Is that right?
Man, I wish. No, Joe Biden created the invasion. It's like we're living in a surreal reality. I mean, just a nightmare. We've been tracking Tango Blast gang guys that have been coming through Mike Vickers' ranch for over a decade. Now you had somebody with Tango Blast tattoos just shoot up a mall in Allen, Texas. I mean, people in Dallas, Texas are scared of what's coming over the border because they just lost a bunch of people in a mall. We've been warning about this for 18 years, and Trump was the only one that took it seriously. And when he said there was bad people coming across the border, they tried to make him look like a racist. What you're seeing on the border today is absolutely chaos by design. This was begun to be put into operation within hours of Joe Biden when he got into the White House. And the plans have been going on, from everything that I know and my contacts know, since 2015, 2016, when Joe Biden first went down to Central America and said, send us your kids.
Dr. Vickers, Chris is laying out a very sad legacy of the progressive left, now led by Joe Biden. Biden's been in office 50 years, and now he wants to solve the problems. Give the folks a little bit of your background, where your ranch is located, how large it is, and how long you have been there.
Tom, I'll have practiced veterinary medicine in 16 counties along the border this coming August for 50 years, excuse me. Wow. And absolutely every one of my clients that are ranchers in that 16 county area, over 300 of them, have been impacted by this invasion. Some worse than others. A lot of them, most people have left their ranches because of the imminent threat of danger, or because they've been threatened, and have moved to cities. McAllen, Corpus Christi, San Antonio have left the ranch. And this is just despicable. It's uncalled for. And it's getting worse. And the property damage is staggering. They're going to steal vehicles. They're going to break into homes. They're going to set fires. The list goes on and on and on of all the damage that is going to be done. And it's scary. And it's, like I mentioned, it's getting worse.
There's a criticism on the Marxist left, progressive left, that those of us who want to defend the border and save lives are not concerned about the poor pregnant woman coming 5,000 miles through the Darien Gap and her two little babies, and we don't care for human beings. We got several 100,000 people that are coming into the United States the next few days. Where is the Christian humanity, Chris, in terms of putting our arms around all of them, welcoming them, and giving them a new life in America?
Well, I would say to every one of those people that pushes that propaganda and uses our Christianity against us, that they should come down to Texas and pick up as many dead bodies out of the bushes as Mike and I have. I'm tired of picking up poor dead victims of the cartels and of the U.S. government's policy out of our South Texas ranches. And this is happening because the American people are being lied to and being told that, oh, if you don't have sympathy for poor folks with brown skin that are trying to come into America for better life, that you're a racist and you because you want the border closed. No, let me tell you what. This entire policy is by design. It is killing people. And it's not just military-age men. It's women and children. Because of these policies, because people aren't coming through their front door and doing things legally, they're raping small children to get across the river. I can't tell you the evil that's been going on. Women being raped in these ranches. I've seen it. I've sat with the victims that have survived, and I've picked up the bodies of the women that were killed in the bush. Ask Mike. He's done the same thing. He lives in this every single day. These people don't know what they're talking about. These people are subject to a major propaganda war that they've bought into, and the United States of America is losing. When the border is secure, we save lives. The actions of this administration make them the largest human traffickers in the history of the United States, the largest child traffickers. We now have over 250,000 unaccompanied children in the United States of America under Joe Biden's watch. And he started this. In 2015, he went to Central America as VP on a big campaign and said, give us your kids. We will have refugios de menores. We will have safety and refuge for the children. They did this by design.
All right, gentlemen, you paint realistically a chaotic, deadly, dangerous, complete obliteration of the security and sovereignty of our southern border. But is there any hope? We have Americans out there that are listening to you. Chris, is there any hope?
Yes, there absolutely is hope, and this could be turned around within 24 hours. The first thing you need to do is designate the Mexican drug cartels as terrorist organizations and enemy combatants. We bring out the U.S. military, we secure that border, we close that border, and then you start taking out the cartels. And then you start going and investigating criminally with military courts, with military investigators, any politicians, any civilians, any citizens that have been working with the cartels on this invasion. And that's going to take some cojones, and we're going to need governors to stand up. I live in Texas. Mike lives in Texas. We were a country before we were a state. We have a treaty with the United States of America to defend us from invasion. They've broken that treaty.
Dr. Vickers, we'll close with your thoughts about any hope for Americans moving forward.
I'm seeing more and more people step up and want to get something done. And like Chris said, designating the cartels as a terrorist organization is the first step that the United States government needs to do, and the state government of Texas. So I'm cautiously optimistic, but I'm not going to give up. I'm going to devote all my energy to what I'm doing right now, and that's to try to spread the word to everybody and spread the truth about how lawlessness is prevailing here along the Texas border and how Americans and Texans are suffering as a result of it.
Gentlemen, you are both an amazing example as to how people on the front lines of the battle can maintain an optimistic outlook that resonates so much with regular people that want to save this country. Thank you, both of you, for what you have done. And we have put defendtheborder.org, our organization, and both of these guys are involved. to be that organizing entity on a grassroots level, on a multimedia level, on a communicative level, even on an primarily on an educational level. So go to defendtheborder.org, join with us. We'll work with Chris, with Dr. Vickers, and many, many others to indeed turn this mess around, save this country, defend the border, and save human lives. Thank you very much. Godspeed to both of you guys.
They are running training drills, the National Guard is, so that they're prepared for the influx of what we're hearing from DHS, 18,000 illegal immigrants every single day.
This is the first administration in history of this nation who came into office and unsecured the border. I worked for 6 presidents, starting with Ronald Reagan. Every one of them, including Clinton, Obama, wanted to do something to secure the border. President Biden came in and unsecured the border, and look at all the deaths she's caused.
Every state is a border state because the drugs that are coming into the country are affecting everyone in the country.
The numbers don't lie. We have never seen in our lifetime. Our border is being overwhelmed of intentional negligence.
67,000 crossed the border and got away. They weren't fingerprinted, they weren't photographed, no biographic information, no vetting was done. 60,000 people entered this country, got away. Who the hell are they? That should scare every American.